Brightstar came down with a thunderous growl that went unheard. Ryun's power, Oblivion's mirror, manifested around him and imprinted the concept behind his power into the fabric of reality itself. It diminished other essence, allowing his aura to devour the air and gravity around him with far greater ease, leaving nothing to obstruct his hammer's passage. He hit the blade on the anvil with enough force to splinter mountains. Only Erdania's power pulsing in the anvil, the might of world stone, kept it from shattering. The fire blazed all around them, the distilled source whirling as it was guided by their will and pushed into the blade. He did not have the same connection with Erdania that he had with Celia, and for that their process was slower. And yet he could bring to bear a lot more force with her than he had been able to do with Celia. Erdania could endure it, whereas Celia was more about precision and control. Only the flashes of light announced his strikes, and the blasts of unimaginable heat. He knew that it was hurting Erdania. It was hurting him, too. Every strike burned a layer off his skin, and with every rise of his hammer he regenerated it. She didn't regenerate as he did, but she could take a lot of punishment. Regardless, they were close to the end. The hammer came down again, and the heat around them surged, then fully passed into the blade. It was done. Ryun used his aura and power to consume any residual heat in the forge, and then allowed air back in. Erdania took a deep breath, and Ryun moved aside with the blade, quenching it in a formation-laden bath. It did most of the work for him, as it sealed the heat inside and then reduced the blade to room temperature, making it easier to handle. Ryun moved to the work table and assembled the handle, the guard, and the pommel. Erdania moved to stand next to him while he worked, watching over their creation. They had moved to their private forge in what had once been Venoran, the city that Ryun had turned into something of a hideout. He shouldn't have done what he had in the city. He knew that his aspect could be difficult for lower-tiered people to handle. He had just been too angry and needed an immediate outlet. Once he was done, he raised the weapon and looked at it. It was a straight blade, a jian. The metal it was made out of had a faint green hue to it. He offered it to her, and she took it in her hand. She turned it as she studied it, and as she twisted it, the light caught on it just such that he could see green flames burning, trapped in the metal. He had added a tiny piece of his aspect, the desire to consume everything, to the flames, and she had added the piece of her aspect, that of world stone, to make it enduring. Even without reading the weapon's description, he knew what it would be able to do. It could create flames that consumed all and refused to be put out.